Ethan was slowly dying, and he didn't even notice. Not from pain, not from failure, but from distraction. Every day, he lost a small piece of himself to things that didn't matter. One more video, one more game, one more endless scroll. And the worst part? He thought he was just resting. But rest isn't the same as running away, and time doesn't wait for those who spend their lives fleeing. Ethan wasn't a bad kid. He wasn't lazy. He was smart, curious, even talented. But whenever life called him to grow, he always said the same thing: later. And that later became the biggest thief of his existence. His room was a perfect mirror of his mind, full of brilliant ideas, all unfinished, projects half done, notebooks packed with plans but no action, dreams piling up like dust on shelves. Every open tab on his computer was a promise he'd never keep. Sometimes he wondered why he felt such a deep emptiness. He had everything: fast internet, comfort, food, freedom. But something was missing, something none of that could give: purpose. One night, after another day wasted on nothing, he heard the sound of the door opening. It was his father, a simple man, tired, hands worn from work. He looked at his son and, without raising his voice, said, "You're turning into a storage of distractions, son, and one day when the bag is full, you'll realize there's no room left to truly live." Ethan smiled, dismissing it. He thought his father was exaggerating. But there was something in that gaze, a kind of quiet sadness that stuck with him. That night, while the world slept, Ethan stayed awake. Not out of anxiety, but because for the first time he asked himself, what if my father's right?
The next morning, Ethan walked slowly down the school hallway, the invisible weight from the night before still pressed on his shoulders. That's when the philosophy teacher, Mr. Hartman, called him over. A man with a calm voice and a piercing gaze. Someone who seemed to see not just people's minds, but their invisible bags, what they carried and what they hid. "Ethan," he said, "can I talk to you for a few minutes?" Ethan nodded, unsure what to expect. They went out to the empty school balcony where sunlight timidly filtered through the trees. A quiet place, perfect for life-changing conversations. "You seem lost," Mr. Hartman began. "But really, you're just carrying a bag that's too heavy, and you put every stone in it yourself." Ethan frowned. "A bag? Stones?" The teacher smiled slightly. "Yes, every action you take, every choice, every moment you decide to ignore your potential, that's a stone. Every time you do something that matters, even a little, that's a fruit. Some of us fill our bags with fruits, others with stones. And the most dangerous part is thinking we still have time to reorganize everything before the bag overflows." A shiver ran through Ethan. He had never heard words like that before. Words that spoke straight to the mind, but weighed on the chest as well. Mr. Hartman then looked toward the horizon, watching the rising sun. "I can't fill your bag for you, but I can show you how it works. I can tell you a story you may never forget." Ethan felt a mix of curiosity and fear. Curiosity because he wanted to understand, fear because he knew this story could change everything. Every choice, Ethan, every distraction, every action, you are building your future right now. And once the bag is full, there's no going back. And so, that quiet morning, Ethan realized what had seemed light and meaningless, videos, games, procrastination, had a weight he'd never measured. And now, he was about to start measuring it.
Mr. Hartman sat beside Ethan on the balcony. A gentle breeze moved through the trees, carrying the silence as if it wanted to listen to the words about to be spoken. A long time ago, the teacher began, there was a king, a wise but wary king. He had 3 ministers, each responsible for part of the kingdom. One day, he gave them all the same task, a test of character and discipline. Ethan leaned in, attentive, feeling the weight of the story. The king gave each minister an empty bag and said, "Fill this bag with the best fruits you can find in the forest. But beware, you will live on what you put inside it." The first minister woke early, walked among the trees, and carefully selected the ripest, healthiest fruits. Every apple, every peach, every grape chosen with attention. When he returned, his bag was full, heavy, but valuable. The second minister found the task tiresome. The king won't really check, he thought. He mixed good fruits with some rotten ones. It doesn't matter, he told himself. The important thing is that it looks like I worked. The third minister was apathetic. He didn't care about effort or outcome. He filled his bag with leaves, stones, and dry twigs. At least it looks full, he thought. When they returned, the king didn't inspect the bags. Live with what you've gathered for 30 days, he said. The first minister ate fresh, tasty fruits. He stayed healthy, strong, and his spirit remained light. The second minister began to feel hunger. Rotten fruits made him sick. Disease and regret followed him. The third minister didn't survive. The bag was full, yes, but empty of what truly mattered. Mr. Hartman looked at Ethan. See, each of them built their own destiny, and often we don't realize we're doing the same, filling our bags with distractions, laziness, choices that don't matter, until suddenly there's no room left for the fruits that really do. A chill ran through Ethan's chest. He remembered every video he procrastinated on, every abandoned project, every "I'll do it later." So, my bag is full of stones, he whispered to himself. For now, but it's not too late. You can start choosing what to put in it from now on. The wind continued to blow. Ethan looked toward the horizon, feeling something inside him beginning to change. Something small, but firm. A silent understanding. Every choice matters. Every action shapes who you will be. And if you start today, there's still time to fill your bag with real fruits.
The balcony's silence felt heavier than before. Ethan remained seated, staring at the ground. Every word from Mr. Hartman still echoed inside him. Every choice matters. Every action shapes who you will be. He closed his eyes and saw images of his own life. Endless videos, projects left unfinished, promises to himself unkept. And he felt something he had never felt before: regret. Not the shouting, blaming kind, but a quiet regret, heavy on the chest, awakening awareness. The bag he carried, invisible yet heavy, became real in his mind. Stones, leaves, dry twigs. Every distraction, every delay, every purposeless choice, all there. But at the same time, there was space. Space that could still be filled with fruits. Fruits of effort, attention, and intention. Ethan opened his eyes. The world looked the same, but he saw it differently.
The phone that once controlled his hands now seemed just an object, not a prison, not an escape. So I can choose, he thought. I can start putting fruits in my bag now. He took a deep breath, feeling the air fill his lungs differently. Not just oxygen, possibility. Mr. Hartman watched quietly, knowing Ethan needed to make this discovery himself. Don't wait for the world to teach you. Life won't charge you now, but one day it will. Choose today what you want to carry with you. Ethan stood up, not in a hurry, not anxious, but with quiet determination. In that moment, he understood the power isn't outside, it's inside. My bag won't fill itself anymore. I choose what goes in it. I choose my future. And with that decision, something changed. It wasn't a miracle. It wasn't an ending. It was the beginning of something greater. The world hadn't changed, but Ethan had. The day was ending, and Ethan walked alone down the school hallway. The setting sun painted the world in soft shades of orange, pink, and gold. He held his phone in his hand, but this time there was no urgency, no temptation to look at screens or distractions that once filled every minute. Is the bag empty or too full? He asked himself quietly. He realized it didn't matter. What mattered was the awareness of having the power to choose. Every step, every decision, every action now had meaning. Ethan remembered the minister's fable, the first who worked hard and chose good fruits, the second who mixed stones with fruits, the third who valued nothing. He smiled, not with joy, but with understanding. My bag is mine, he thought, and I can fill it with what really matters. But the teacher had left something open. Don't expect the world to give you time, but don't fear the future either. What you do today creates tomorrow, and tomorrow is still ahead of you. And with that, Ethan walked out of the school. No definite answers, no guarantee of perfect fruits, only the freedom to choose. The bag of life lay before him, invisible yet real. And with every step, he decided what to put inside. It's not too late, and it will never be too late as long as I choose to put in fruits, not stones. The wind blew gently, as if approving the boy's quiet decision, and the world went on, indifferent, vast, full of possibilities. But Ethan had changed, not by miracles nor by luck, but by awareness, intention, and action. And so the story ends, not with a conclusion, but with a quiet invitation to reflect. Observe your bag, choose today, and start filling it with fruits.